from being around the last year as RCSA chair. Normally it should be my job to run this, but I thought that I wanted to be on the committee again to try and make a real difference in college. Over the past year I've had an experience of the RCSA itself, as well as the wider structures of power in the university, and during which I got maybe a bit distracted and went too far. I spent all my time looking out from the college rather than looking in to see what the problems were and what needed to be done. Yeah. I should have written something, but oh well. Yeah, so last year I was chair. I still am for another week. I'm looking forward to chairing the budget meeting and then running the full committee elections next week, no matter what happens. I've had a good time on the RCSA, but I think we could do a lot more. We need to be a much more visible presence in college, especially since there could be some issues in terms of the library just deciding to stop opening 24 hours a day, which some people have actually said may actually be a good thing. Others aren't so happy about it. So it's something that we should really open up for the discussion to see whether or not we are happy with this, instead of college just saying, yeah, we're going to shut the library. We need someone to actually go and do that. I've had experience on QSU Council and also President Externals, which was Chris was mentioning about that when he was talking about chair. QSU Council is something that previous chairs and presidents feel quite strongly about, and mainly because it is very bureaucratic at times and can get very frustrating that the views often submitted by other people aren't necessarily what Robinson as a whole would want. So dealing with QSU is one part of the president, but the main role is actually dealing with college. I've got 1 minute left.
A bit less now, but
that's fine. Yeah. So I'd be willing to go to all the committees. So there's College Council, which is the college's governing body, which is possibly the most important committee the president sits on, because that is basically where all the major decisions of college life are made. Joint Liaison Committee as well. There's President and Externals and the QSU Council if we remain affiliated to QSU. So yeah, that's it.
cool.
As Bryn Moore said, I'm Stephen. Unfortunately, a lot of you won't know me, but we're going to try and rectify that in the next few minutes. So let's just go from here. I'm from Ireland. Not the lyrical kind of sing-song sort of the island where everyone sounds like that, but the northern bit around Belfast. So my accent's not quite as nice. It might also be mixed a bit with the New England twang, since the reason a lot of you mightn't know me is because I spent last year over in Boston. Now, I decided on the way here that rather than just kind of walking around thinking about what I'd say, I'd conduct a wee social experiment. It was kind of on shaky ground since I'm an engineer, but I was offering people like pennies, 50p coins, 5p pieces and stuff, and just kept screaming and running away. And it confirmed what I thought: people are afraid of change. Now, because I wasn't on the last committee, it might seem like me being appointed is a scary change. But I have played on the RCSA merry-go-round twice before. I was the brick editor in first year, sports and societies officer in second year. The fruits of my labours are kind of obvious in college. There's the dazzling sports board, which has all wins on it at the minute, which is fantastic. There's these pretty snazzy hoodies, which you might have seen about the place. I also produced 6 very readable bricks. That's the college newsletter. Unfortunately, a lot of you mightn't know what that is anymore, which kind of saddens me. And like, that is something that if there are freshers here interested in getting on committee, maybe going for brick editor is something you should do. In the past, you've seen that I've delivered on things. I can continue to deliver if you elect me as your president. I'm also quite future oriented, so regardless of what's gone on before, what happened last year when I wasn't here, what happened the years before that when I was here, I don't think that should impact on the future. I think we've got massive potential to do good, but there's also a lot of potential for things to go wrong. College are getting quite sneaky. I don't rate the current fourth year accommodation price hike at all. I also think that this decision by the library to restrict their opening hours doesn't read very well. And because of these two things, amongst others, I think now is a time when we need to be very active as an RCSA, keeping an eye on college, the policies and changes that they're enacting that are going to influence us. College should be coming to us, consulting with us, and held to account by us, and I think I'm the strongest person to go forward and do this. Thanks.
I'm a third year business for those that you don't know me, and obviously I want to be your president. I'm going to start off with why I think it'd be good for the role. The last year I've been on the committee, I've been the academic affairs officer, and I've got quite a bit done doing that. I mean, on the committee report, if anyone's read it, I've said how I've sorted out University Challenge, set up the group for Robinson, which didn't go through. Not my fault. Feedback sessions, I talked about expanding the role of academic affairs officer. I also organised for all the freshers your subject rep drinks. So I've got quite a bit done. I sat on various committees, which is good because I've already got strong relations with the senior tutor, the admissions tutor, and various other key staff in college, so they know me and I know them, so I can get things done. I've also been involved helping other people on the committee, which I'd like to continue doing as a president, so clearing out the trunk room is what I was doing last weekend, setting up Freshers Week. Outside of RCSA roles, I've been involved in college. You may see me stewing the box, and I've been very responsible doing that. I'm also on the admissions rep committee as well. I'm one of the admissions rep for college, and some of the freshers may recognise me because I did sheepdogging Christmas last year. So I'd like to still be involved in college in a really big way, as I already have been. In terms of leadership, back in school I was in charge of like my sixth form council. I did have to delegate things. I know what I'm doing with taking control of a committee. In terms of my initiatives, mainly they mirror the other candidates in a sense. I am concerned about college policies, there's the trunk room. In terms of the library opening hours, I'm already emailing people about that as academic affairs officer and trying to sort that out. My main thing is trying to get a face for the president. I don't know how many of you actually know, well, still in the second years, but a lot of the freshers don't know who the president actually is, which is not a good thing, I don't think. Other things I'd like to get done, sponsorship. We don't currently have a sponsor. I know Lewis is looking into that, but if he doesn't manage to get that done, I'd like to try and get that done as well. Hoodies, third years have hoodies, but second years and first years don't have Robinson College hoodies, which I think would be a nice thing. I'm also looking forward to organising, inspiring a committee and getting people to do things, and I also want to hear everyone else's ideas, so I'm open to people emailing me and everything. So just to summarise why I think I'd be good for the role, I'm very excited. I like organising people. I think I can get people inspired. I think I can get them to work without trying to hound them to get things done. And I think I'd also make a good face and representation of the RCSA as a president. I think that's everything I want to say, so...